which will really be ramping up today. You felt how humid it was yesterday, but the cloud cover kind of kept us from really seeing those temperatures rising into the triple digits, or feels like temps in the triple digits. Today, with more sun for the first half of the day, temperatures in the 90s, but it's going to feel like the triple digits between 101 and 103 this afternoon. So let's go ahead and break down our next weather alert. Here's what you need to know for today. Again, two reasons: the heat and then the threat for storms. And the storms have kind of a two-phase problem as well: flooding, rain, but also the threat for severe weather. We're in a slight risk, a level 2 risk for severe weather today. So heat and humidity. Storms are likely later this afternoon and evening, likely starting about 3 or 4 o'clock. So get anything you need to do done before that happens. We'll have heavy rain and gusty winds with any storm that does fire up. And as we go through the afternoon, we're going to be seeing temperatures rising pretty quickly across the region. Temperatures will be rising from the 70s well into the 80s, and then 91 degrees. That's by 3 o'clock. Then the storms come through and we'll start to knock those temperatures down. But storms are going to bring little relief in their wake and could bring the threat once again for severe weather. So let's talk a little bit more about what to expect as far as the timing of this is concerned. It's quiet for now. Temperatures are going to start feeling like the triple digits by midday. So I showed you 91 degrees by 3 o'clock. It'll feel like about 102, 104, the feels like temperature in Toms River by midday. And then by this evening, we start to see storms come in, and you can see that's going to drop those feels like temperatures a little bit, but we're right back up to feels like temps in the 90s for tomorrow. Then we shift to the storm threat. Later on today, it's quiet for now. The storms from yesterday have moved offshore. Heat advisory will go through 8 p.m., but I also want to show you the flood watch. New flood watch has been issued until midnight, and that encompasses the entire area. This is for small stream flooding, creek flooding, minor river flooding, as well as the risk for flash flooding. And in addition, a level 2 out of 5 risk of severe weather. Storms later today could produce damaging winds and large hail. I'll time them out hour by hour for you coming up in just a bit. We'll also talk about the flood threat reemerging in Texas later today. Kim, later this evening, because especially if you're going to, a neighborhood pool, a pool club, things like that, if you hear thunder, the kids have to get out of the pool. And if you're in a backyard pool, you should have the same rule at home. If you hear thunder, even from a storm that's far away, lightning can strike. That's what thunder is. So be careful. Get out of the pool if you hear it. And it's starting about 3 or 4 o'clock. So if you do want to take the kids to the pool today, if you have plans to get outside, first half of the day, the best time to do it. But find a way to cool off, because the heat and humidity really, really building today. We have more sun than yesterday, and dew points still very high. So the shore, a good place to go. Beat the heat down the shore. On the beach, put your feet in the water. It's beautiful right now in Ocean City. It is humid. You can kind of see that little haze. The lights along the boardwalk looking just a little blurry here this morning. But here's the rain that came through yesterday, the remnants of Chantal. One thing I want to mention for the shore, though, high rip current risk again today, because this system is churning up the ocean. So please play it safe. Only swim at those guarded beaches. It's going to be kind of choppy surf, rough surf and rip current threats down the shore right through today, possibly even into tomorrow. But we're dry for now, and we're starting out the day with sunshine. The problem, we've got another round of heavy storms later this afternoon and evening. So a flood watch will go into effect and will be in effect until midnight tonight for the entirety of the area, all of South Jersey, all of southeastern Pennsylvania, all of Delaware this evening. And we also have a heat advisory to tell you about. Heat advisory basically saying feels like temperatures will exceed 100 degrees. The threshold is a little bit lower in the month of June. So this is going to feel a lot like the heat we had in June, where it felt like 100 plus. It's not going to be quite as hot as when temperatures actually got to around 100 degrees, 101, but it's going to feel that way, like 103, 104 in the afternoon. So definitely at risk for heat-related illnesses if you spend too much time outdoors. If you're not hydrating properly, check on anyone you need to that may need help getting cool today. We're at 94 for the high. It'll feel like around 104. The shore's at 91 with thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. The Lehigh Valley, 90 degrees, and again, it'll feel about 10 degrees hotter than that. Here's a look at our future feels like temperatures. This is about 2 o'clock. Look at that. 103 is what it feels like in the city. 104 in Millville and Atlantic City, feeling like 100 in Allentown. And you can see then the storms starting to come in, and that will drop those temperatures at least briefly. But then we've got the threat for damaging winds and heavy rain later on this afternoon and this evening. So first half of the day, you're dealing with the heat and the humidity, lots of blazing sun. It's dry through about 3 or 4 o'clock, and then notice 4 p.m. we start to see these little storms pulse up out ahead of the main line of storms, which will come through starting about 5 o'clock. This is Upper Bucks, Montgomery, Western Chester counties. getting into the city and surrounding suburbs about 6 or 6:30, and then down the shore and in Delaware by later 7, 8, 9 o'clock tonight before it starts to move out. Any one of these storms could produce damaging winds and also the threat for flooding rainfall. I think tomorrow is our best chance to stay dry, just an isolated thunderstorm chance, but Thursday's another active day, showers and storms morning into the evening, and we'll have at least the chance for scattered afternoon storms Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So the active pattern continues. Tomorrow, probably your best full day, pool day or beach day. But again, today is the next weather alert day for heat and strong or severe storms later on. Kim,